Welcome. Tonight, I'm going to tell you one of the greatest maritime mysteries in history. A mystery that, over 150 years later, still remains unsolved. In 1872, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, a ship was discovered, the Mary Celeste. The ship was in perfect condition. Her sails were set, her cargo was completely intact. She had 6 months' worth of food and water. Personal belongings, valuable cargo, everything was exactly as it should be. But there was not a single person on board. 10 people, the captain, his wife, his 2-year-old daughter, and 7 crew members, had vanished without a trace. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no pirate attack, nothing, just silence. Tonight, I'll tell you this mysterious story from beginning to end. What happened, what didn't happen, and why it remains a mystery to this day. Close your eyes, settle in, and let this extraordinary mystery unfold. The Mary Celeste was a brigantine, a 2-masted merchant vessel. She was built in 1861. Her original name was Amazon. In her early years, she was an unlucky ship. Her first captain died within 9 days. She had several accidents, changed hands multiple times. In 1868, an American businessman bought her, James Winchester. He restored the ship, changed her name to Mary Celeste. In 1872, the ship's captain became Benjamin Briggs. Briggs was 37 years old, a very experienced sailor. He'd grown up in Massachusetts, came from a seafaring family. His father was a captain, his brothers were captains. He was a religious man, calm, intelligent, trustworthy. He loved his family deeply. He was married to Sarah. Sarah was also experienced. She'd been on several long voyages with her husband, a strong woman. She loved the sea. They had a 2-year-old daughter, Sophia Matilda, a small, cheerful child. Briggs had decided to bring his family on this voyage. Sarah and Sophia would come with him. Their 7-year-old son, Arthur, would stay on land for school. The crew numbered 7. First mate, Albert Richardson, second mate, Andrew Gilling, 4 sailors and a cook. All experienced, all reliable. November 7th, 1872. The Mary Celeste departed from New York Harbor. Destination, Genoa, Italy. Cargo, 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, a valuable shipment. The weather was fine. The wind was favorable. The ship was in good condition. That same day, another ship also left New York, the Dei Gratia, Captain David Morehouse. She was also headed to Genoa. Morehouse and Briggs knew each other. They were friends. They'd had dinner together before departing. 2 ships on the same route. But Dei Gratia had left a bit later. In the first few weeks, there were updates from the Mary Celeste. Briggs made regular entries in his log. Weather conditions, position, speed, everything normal. November 25th, 1872, the last entry. 6 miles north of Santa Maria Island, near the Azores, off the coast of Portugal. Weather slightly overcast, but not dangerous. The following pages, blank. 9 days of silence. And then, December 4th, 1872, around 2 in the afternoon. The Dei Gratia is sailing through the Atlantic, east of the Azores, about 400 miles offshore. The weather is calm. The sea is smooth. Lookout John Johnson is on deck, scanning the horizon. And he spots a ship. But something's wrong. The ship isn't sailing properly, not with the wind. Zigzagging almost, out of control. "Captain," he calls out, "there's a vessel. but she's moving strangely. Captain Morehouse comes on deck, raises his telescope. He looks for 2-3 seconds, then freezes. That's the Mary Celeste. Briggs's ship, his friend's ship. But why is she moving like that? Why is no one on deck? Morehouse grows concerned. Maybe there was an accident? Maybe the crew got sick. "Approach her," he says, carefully. The Dei Gratia moves closer to the Mary Celeste, slowly. First Mate Oliver DeVoe observes carefully. Sails are torn, some are missing, but the ship is still sailing. No one on deck. Complete silence, just the sound of wind and sails flapping. Morehouse calls out, "Mary Celeste, ahoy!" No response. He calls again, louder. Still silence. "Send someone over," Morehouse says. "Investigate." DeVoe and 2 men lower a small boat. They row, approach the Mary Celeste. They reach the ship's side, call out. No answer. DeVoe climbs aboard, grabs the rope, pulls himself onto the deck. The moment his foot touches the deck, silence envelops him. Completely silent, completely empty. He looks around. No one at the wheel. Sails half set, ropes hanging loose, but no signs of struggle, no blood, no panic, just emptiness. "I'm going below," DeVoe says. "Be careful." He descends the ladder, a dark corridor, holds his breath, opens the first door, goes to the crew quarters. No one in the bunks, but the beds are messy, clothes scattered, as if they'd left in a hurry. He goes to the galley, plates on the counter, as if a meal had been prepared but left unfinished. A cup sits there, some liquid inside, cold now. He goes to the captain's cabin, opens the door. The room is tidy, bed made, a few papers on the desk. A toy, probably little Sophia's. The captain's log is open. Last entry, November 25th. But the ship's log is missing. Navigation records are gone. The sextant is gone. DeVoe takes a breath, thinks, then decides to check the cargo hold. He descends. Dark, damp, filled with barrels. 1,701 barrels, most in place, but 9 are empty. No leaks, no breakage, 3 to 4 feet of water in the hold, a normal amount. The pump is working, the ship isn't sinking, no damage. DeVoe returns to the deck, looks around, and notices the lifeboat davits are empty. The boats are gone. The ropes look torn, cut, taken in haste. DeVoe returns to the small boat, reports to Morehouse. "Captain, there's no one on the ship, no one at all, but everything's in place. Only the crew is missing." Morehouse can't believe it. "What do you mean? Was there a fight? Blood?" "No, sir, nothing. They're just gone." Morehouse thinks, this is very strange, very odd. But he has to make a decision. Under maritime law, the finder of an abandoned ship receives salvage rights, a reward. This is an opportunity, but also a risk. "We're taking her," Morehouse says. "Send 3 men to the Mary Celeste. We'll sail alongside them, together to the nearest port." DeVoe and 2 men transfer to the Mary Celeste. They put the ship in order, repair the sails. The 2 ships set sail together. December 9th, 1872. They arrive at Gibraltar, and so begins the world's greatest maritime mystery. News spreads quickly. Newspapers write, Ghost ship found. An investigation begins. The British court gets involved. The presiding judge, Mr. Frederick Solly Flood, very thorough, very suspicious. Morehouse and his crew are questioned for hours, for days. Flood is suspicious. This is too strange, too perfect. Maybe a conspiracy? Maybe Morehouse and Briggs made a deal, hijacked the ship for insurance money? But there's no evidence. Morehouse's story is consistent. The crew appears honest. The Mary Celeste is examined, inch by inch. Reddish stains are found on the deck. Blood? They're sent to a laboratory, analyzed. Result? No, not blood. Probably wine or fruit stains. Scratches on the rail, signs of attack? Experts examine them. No, normal wear, salt water and wind cause this kind of damage. Flood is disappointed. He can't find evidence, can't find a crime. Finally, the ship is released. Morehouse and his crew are awarded salvage, only 1/6 of the ship's value. Very little, but still something. But the main question remains unanswered. What happened to the 10 people? They vanished completely, never found, no trace, no bodies, nothing. And so the theories begin. For years, for decades, for over a century, people generate theories. Some are logical, some are crazy, some are completely absurd. What are the most popular theories? First theory, pirate attack. But illogical, because the cargo is still on the ship, 1,701 barrels of alcohol. Very valuable. Pirates would have taken it. Personal belongings are also in place. Valuable instruments remain. And there are no signs of fighting, no blood, no battle. This theory was rejected. Second theory, mutiny. Maybe the crew rebelled against the captain, killed Briggs, then fled the ship? But why? Briggs was a good captain, fair, kind, no reason for mutiny. And if there had been a mutiny, they would have taken the ship, sold the cargo. Why flee the ship? This theory is also weak. Third theory, sea monster or giant octopus. In the 19th century, people believed in giant sea creatures. Maybe a monster came, took everyone? But the ship is undamaged, no signs of struggle. 10 people disappeared silently? No, this is just legend, not real. Fourth theory, earthquake or water spout. Maybe a natural disaster? The crew got scared and fled? Possible, but no earthquakes were reported in that area at that time. No water spouts either. And why is the ship undamaged? A weak theory. Fifth theory, and the most logical, alcohol vapor explosion. This is the theory modern researchers accept. Think about it. There are 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol on the ship. 9 barrels are empty. Maybe there's a leak? Alcohol vapor forms, accumulates in the hold. Then, a small spark. Maybe friction, maybe something. And an explosion. But not a big explosion. No fire, just pressure, noise, smoke. The hatch covers blow off. Smoke rises to the deck. Captain Briggs is on deck, sees the smoke, hears the explosion. He panics, thinks, the ship is going to explode. Everyone will die. He immediately orders, to the lifeboat, now, abandon ship. The crew runs. Sarah grabs the baby. Sophia is crying. Everyone rushes to the lifeboat. Maybe they try to tie a rope to maintain connection with the ship. But there's urgency, fear. 10 people in the lifeboat, a small boat, crowded. The ship moves forward. There's wind. The sails are still set. The rope tightens, and breaks. The lifeboat falls behind. Briggs shouts, "Turn back! Return to the ship!" But it's too late. The wind carries the Mary Celeste away, fast. The lifeboat is small. There are oars, but not enough. They're in the middle of the ocean. The Mary Celeste disappears over the horizon. And 10 people in the open sea, in a small boat, are left alone. Days pass. The sun burns. The nights are cold. Very little food, very little water. Maybe it rains. Maybe a storm comes. The small lifeboat in the middle of the ocean drifts. And one day, they can't endure anymore. Hunger, thirst, exhaustion. One by one, they surrender to the ocean. Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, little Sophia, and 7 crew members. All of them disappear. The bodies are never found because the ocean is deep, because the currents are strong. Only the Mary Celeste, empty, drifting with the wind, continues for 9 more days, until the Dei Gratia finds her. This theory is the most logical. It explains the signs of panic, explains the hasty departure, explains the broken rope. But there's no definitive proof. There never will be, because the witnesses are all gone. The story of the Mary Celeste remained a mystery for over 150 years. The ship herself met her end in 1885. Her owner deliberately ran her aground for insurance fraud, but he was caught. The Mary Celeste broke apart on rocks, lost forever. But her story lives on, still discussed, still wondered about. Hundreds of books have been written, films made, documentaries produced. Everyone asks, what really happened? And perhaps we'll never know. Perhaps this is one of those mysteries that will remain unsolved forever. But maybe that's beautiful, because the unknown keeps our imagination alive. In 1872, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, 10 people left a ship and were never seen again. Only the sea knows what happened, and the sea never shares its secrets. The Mary Celeste remains history's ghost ship, but perhaps Captain Briggs and his family, perhaps the 7 crew members, are at peace somewhere else. Maybe they didn't suffer. Maybe it was quick. Maybe they were together until the end. We'll never know. But we can remember them. 10 souls lost at sea, a mystery never solved. And now, you too can rest peacefully, like the waves of the ocean, gently swaying. Your eyes are closing, your breathing deepening, and the story slowly settles into your memory. Sleep well,